This perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the first episode of Carnival Road, and this is the first season. Now, I know nothing, absolutely nothing about this series. I don't even remember watching the trailer. I just went into it blind, but man, I am definitely very interested in this series. But before I get into this review, I would like y'all to hit that like button if you can. Subscribe if you're new. I'm almost at 400, so that'd be very helpful for me. Follow me on Twitter at perpminded, and let's get into this review, because I think this is a very interesting series and has a lot of potential. So, it starts off giving you the story, this backstory on everything that's going on. We get introduced to our main characters, Vignette and Philo. Vignette is Carol Delevingne, I think that's her name. Her character, she's kind of like this resistance type of character, like helping other fairies and whatnot escape their homeland. And on the other side, you got Philo, which this is Orlando Bloom, and I haven't seen Orlando Bloom in a role in a very long time, so it's good to see him back in a show like this. And he's pretty much like an investigator, inspector, or whatever you want to call it. He's a cop pretty much. And I like the lore that they set up in this whole entire thing with mystical creatures living among normal people, just humans, and the politics that go into this. You got the chancellor, you got people gunning for the chancellor's spot. You got the chancellor's son out here wilding. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he plays a part in all this. I'm talking about the chancellor's son. And I just like how they introduced the politics and everything with this. It's really interesting. It's always dope to see shows do that. So Vignette washes up on shore because the boat she was on sank. Now she's in police custody, and the police are trying to figure out whose boat is this and who does it belong to. They find the owner, and he's this kind of quirky white dude. Drawing a blank on his name, but he ends up taking Vignette in as a servant, and she's really naive about that. But she ends up meeting up with an old friend of hers back from her homeland, and her friend pretty much lets her know that Philo is still alive, and she is very pissed. And I like Vignette. I like her character. She's very determined and very helpful, trying just to help her people get away from her homeland, because it's pretty much turned into hell. Now we get this funny scene where Vignette's owners, or whatever you want to call it, these people go to see their neighbors, and come to find out their neighbor is black, and that kind of throws them off. And they really hit you hard with the racial stuff, even just with the fairies and just all the different mythical creatures. Find it very interesting, to say the least. So meanwhile, we have Philo looking for this guy named Jack, this guy that's been beaten up on fairies. This was pretty much his whole story. Well, his whole plot in this episode is to find this guy. And then he starts talking about this dark servant and why he does what he does, and jumps to his death. And I wonder what that's going to play, what part that's going to play at the end of this season, what he was talking about, this dark god or something like that. So Vignette is really upset, leaves the house, ends up finding Philo, and is just pissed and is ready to slit his throat in his sleep. Well, not in his sleep, but she's just really upset that she didn't tell her that he was alive. and she thought he was dead for 7 years, so I don't even blame her. But yeah, that's pretty much how the episode ends. Well, no, it actually ends with it goes to the scene where you see this chick getting grabbed up by this like big ass demon looking motherfucker. So overall, I thought this was a really solid first episode. It's got me kind of hooked. I'm really interested. I want to see what the overall story is going to be in this first season. What do you guys think about this? Did you like this first episode? Did you think it was a good strong start? I thought I was hooked from the moment it turned on, with you seeing people getting mowed down. I loved how they showed you the story, pretty much told you the story in the first like 2 minutes, really cool stuff. We're just gonna have to see how this first season plays out. Hopefully it doesn't end terribly. I'm hoping not, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'll check y'all out in the next episode review, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.
What made that comedian different from that comedian? And it was the strength, the inner strength, the style, the confidence they had, not being afraid to fail. And if I could transcend that to a lot of people, whatever, it might not be comedy, it might be in the workplace, to give them that drive, that's when I Ain't Scared of You came from. You can't be afraid.